In this video, we're going to see how we can generate OpenAI API key to work with our Slurp'it MCP project. Well, if you want to see what MCP is, how it can benefit your Slurp'it workflow, you can watch the MCP introduction video. I will link it down in the description. But in this particular video, I want to see how we can actually generate an API key, specifically OpenAI API key, to make it work with our project. So this is the project Slurp'it MCP server. If you want to clone it, you do it from here. And this is on GitLab. Once you do that, you're provided with two environment variable files, one inside the clients folder and one inside the server folder. So if I go to my project, I will go to clients, click on .env. And in this case, I'm using GPT-4o mini as the model. And I am going to generate and put an API key in here. Keep in mind that if you're using any model, you have to remove or at least comment out all the other lines, so it's not going to cause any problem. There are other variables like MCP URL. This is going to be your actual MCP server URL. Mine is on localhost port 3001/SSE. Yours would be the same. This is the default URL. Memory enabled true and verbose is false. So I'm going to go back to browser. I will go back to actually go to this website, platform.openai.com, docs overview. From here, I'm going to go to my profile or your profile. And from here, the first thing you want to do is, first of all, you have to sign in and authorize, then go to billing. And as you can see, there is no credit remaining for me. If that's the case for you, you have to add payment method first. Then again, if you don't have any credit, or even if you don't have any free trial credit, you have to add a payment method and actually buy some quota. Once you do that, you go to API keys. By the way, it's not actually mandatory to generate an API key even if you don't have any quota, but obviously you want to use that somewhere. So for any API call, you have to have some balance. So from here, I'm going to create new secret key. You can give it a name or not, and I'm going to create the secret key, and I will copy it here because I'm not going to be able to see this API key anywhere else anymore. Once I do that, to make sure that our API key works, again, you don't need to have balance in order to test it or generate it. I will go to this website. I found this website called trevorfox.com API key tester. From here, I'm going to choose the first one, OpenAI, and try to test my key. Paste the key here and click on test key. It is a valid key. I get 200 and I get the response preview. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to actually use a valid API key, or rather an API key that has some credit in it. So go back to my project, go back to this file, and I'm going to paste my, again, the API key that has some credit in it so we can actually make some API call. Now from here, I'm going to fire up the Docker containers, rather the project. Compose up the containers are running, and I'm going to run this line. You can see what these lines are from the actual documentations, and they're also explained in the MCP introduction video. So I'm going to run this, and that should put me inside a container in an interactive mode so I can make the API calls using MCP. Now I can actually write my prompt, but before I will go to example MCP prompts and see if I can find anything useful for this video. I'm going to list all the plannings. So this is rather long. I will type something on my own. I will say list all the plannings with their planning IDs. I'm just going to give it a few seconds and come back. There we go. These are all the plannings. What I want is the R planning, which has the ID of 8 for device with the hostname Cisco_iOS. I'm using the sandbox. That device is present on our sandbox instance. So I'm going to say, give me the ARP detail planning ID 8 for the host name or for the device with the host name Cisco iOS. The more descriptive you are with your prompt, it is more likely actually to for it to provide you with a better answer. There we go. This is the ARP table, ARP information, everything we got from Cisco iOS using Planning ID 8. So this was one of the useful examples regarding using MCP and Slurp'it. In future videos, we're going to explore more useful prompts and operations.